Nick, have you heard?
Probably.
But seriously, I have some really big news.
Please tell me this big news that I probably already know.
Okay, you know of the music licensing site MusicBed, right?
Who doesn't know about MusicBed? They're the best place for wedding videographers to get licensed music. They have amazing artists like Chapters, Tony Anderson, Delight in the Heat, as well as hundreds of other curated artists, bands, and composers. I've been using the MusicBed since I started wedding filmmaking in 2012.
Yeah, their subscription service was a life changer for me, especially since all of their subscription music is pre-cleared for every social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, Love Stories TV, and my personal favorite, YouTube, all pre-cleared.
Dude, it's so good. But again, what's this big news that I probably already know about?
They want to sponsor our podcast.
Yeah, I know that. I was a part of the emails.
Can you at least act a little surprised?
Oh, my bad. Hang on. Seriously? They want to pay us to talk about their baller music service? A service that we both have loved and used for years? Sold. I'm in. Sign me up.
We know the time suck that is searching for the perfect song for your wedding film. MusicBed has spent years collaborating with artists, bands, and composers to make it easier than ever for anyone to find the right song for their video.
And if you're interested in a free month of a MusicBed wedding subscription...
Hold up, a free month?
Yeah, a free month of a MusicBed wedding subscription service. Head over to howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed. When you sign up, use the promo code HTFW and you will get your first month for free.
I feel like any good wedding film, you have all the ingredients and you put them all together, and then you're the chef mixing things up, adding your own spices, your special herbs, and I don't know why I was going like KFC with that. Your special blend of herbs and spices, and it all comes together.
Hello and welcome to the How to Film Weddings podcast. My name is Nick Miller. Today, I am joined by my good friend John Bunn. John, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very good. We just finished our live Q&A with the one and the only Matt Johnson, so that was a ton of fun.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's been a leader in this industry, in this community for, I don't know, the last few years. He has just launched a all-inclusive editing Adobe Premiere course, and so we wanted to have him on so that he could talk about that, so he could share information about it, and then just answer some of your ridiculous questions that you asked. The winning ridiculous question might go to our friends Hello Tomorrow in Canada. So you're going to want to listen to this podcast so that you can hear the awesome question that they asked. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into this episode.
We're with Matt Johnson today. Nobody needs an introduction like Matt Johnson needs an introduction.
Glad to be here.
Matt Johnson is here live with us, and we're taking your questions. So if you have a question, drop it in the comments. We've already got some comments going in there, so that's fun. But we're going to chat for a little bit about anything you guys want to with Matt, about his new course, and have a grand old time. So, yes. Matt, thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
So glad to be here. So glad. Really excited about this.
And Nick, how are you, sir?
Dude, I'm really good. I was a late ad. Got called in the ninth inning. So
baseball. And also I want to point out Nick figured out a way to like connect to C100, so his screen is so much nicer, or his image is so much nicer than ours.
I look dang good.
It's very well
I'm all
lit.
like pixelated and stuff. So anyway, yeah, let's jump in. I've got some questions from our Instagram page and from the Facebook group here. Let's see here. Nick, do you have that list too? Matt?
I don't have that
Jay
list.
Worsley has a question. Okay, Jay Worsley has a question inside the group. He says, Matt, how many hours of editing and filming did you put into creating your course?
Ooh, that's good.
What is your course?
As of literally yesterday at noon Central Time, I launched a completely massive undertaking for myself, course all about how I edit wedding films. And it's 38 lessons and over 24 hours of video, showing literally every single step that I take ever whenever it comes to editing a wedding. all my secrets, basically, which is pretty fun. In Adobe Premiere, by the way. In total, I actually recorded the course last year, but it has taken so long to edit it. Between filming weddings, editing weddings, filming YouTube videos, editing YouTube videos, whenever I have some time in there, I would take a week or two at a time. And I want to say it was probably 2 to 3 months of actual work, like between editing it, recording it, all that stuff to actually put it all together. And whenever I say like 2 or 3 months, that's like 12-hour days, just frantic, like, I gotta get this thing done. But it's out there now. I'm so glad it's done.
So just a little bit of time.
A little bit.
No big deal. Just a couple minutes and stuff. And in the meantime, I mean, you and Rachel, your wife, just had a little baby.
Yes.
Tell us about the baby for a sec.
Baby
to the people
Leah.
that don't know.
She's awesome.
Yep.
She's another reason that this course took longer than I thought, because didn't know, but watching a child is very time consuming. So it takes a while.
True.
And for everybody that is watching, I just dropped the link for Matt's course as one of the comments. I'll try to pin that. I don't know if that'll work, but it's in there.
We'll see.
I don't know if I can pin it. Okay, Nick can pin it, just so if you have it. But to everybody that's joining and watching now, all 23 of you at this point, if you have a question for Matt Johnson, the beard, he's here.
I'm here. I made it.
We're here with a famous person.
I exist.
Okay, so I want to jump over to a question. Just like we got a lot of questions. A lot of them were goofy. I don't know why that happened with you, but yeah, a lot of these are goofy. But a couple of the normal ones here. At Shane.Barger says, is it a more technical or a how to operate Premiere, or is it more on the building, story, and structure? I think he's asking basically about your course.
Sure.
Or is it all? Yeah.
It's both. Can I say it's both? It's what's cool about it is that I tried to make it applicable to people that are new to Premiere and people that are experienced. So it's not only a look at all of the setup for Premiere, keyboard shortcuts I'm using, workflow, workspaces set up, panels that I use, effects that I use, etc. Like you can literally go from having no knowledge about Premiere to being an expert in Premiere, essentially, because I show you everything and walk you through that entire process. If you're already experienced, you've been editing weddings for years, you may still pick up on some stuff that you didn't know, and some things that about the ways that I do things that may be quicker than the way that you're doing them, more efficient, which is nice. I devote a decent amount of time and lessons to talking about the story building aspect, and a lot of the building process I'm going through and not only showing you like how I'm cutting, but why I'm cutting in a certain way. So if I'm putting in a shot of the groom or the bride at a specific moment, I'm going to tell you why I'm doing that, why they're there. And benefit of that,
cool.
Benefit of that is that you're going to be able to see, oh, that's how that affects the story. This is why he did it this way, which I think is really helpful.
Yeah, just to be able to kind of watch as you're doing it. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I really like that you're able to do that in your course, because there's so many, like I know when I started out editing wedding videos and stuff, I would add stuff in just because it was pretty or I just liked the shot. And then I did a one-day mentorship with Sarah Pendergraph of Penn Weddings, and she kind of talked me through some things, and she was like, "Why did you put this there? Like, what's the reason behind it? Because the bride is talking about this, and yet you're showing something that doesn't relate at all." Mm-hmm. Or how one thing that has stuck with me for 4 years or whatever now is the idea of ghost mouth, where you can see people's mouths moving, but you don't hear anything coming out at all. And so like that has stuck with me. So that's a big thing. If I can see someone's mouth moving, then you better put some scratch audio down below it, so it makes sense. So anyway, that's a really cool thing to learn.
I do the voices if I just need somebody's lips moving. I just record little like little things, little voices.
You sound like a pigeon.
Yeah, it's kind of my own language I use. It's part of the course. You'll learn all about that. It's very, very professional.
Awesome. Okay, we got a bunch of questions coming in here. I'm gonna butcher this guy's name because I'm just gonna butcher it, but it's like Aitvitas, maybe. He says, Matt, what is the biggest fail that you've ever experienced in weddings?
Biggest fail? Oh man. Okay. This is ridiculous here. Okay, it was my second year ever filming weddings, and I met with the bride and groom. Bride was actually a video editor herself. She wanted to edit the wedding film. I said, that's fine. I'll give you the raw footage. Went and filmed the wedding. I had 2 extra shooters. It was great. Met with the bride. Bride said, the only thing that I care about, the only thing I want you to record is make sure that you get the groom reacting to me walking down the aisle. I need to see that. And I was like, I got you. No problem at all. Show up to the wedding day. Of course, I'm a professional mode. I know what I'm doing. So I outsourced that. The one request that I had, I told my second shooter, hey, groom's right up there. He's going to be watching her. Film him whenever she's walking down the aisle. I'm going to get this sick glide cam shot of her walking down the aisle. It's going to look amazing. Film the ceremony. Goes great. Everything looks awesome on my end. Get to the editing room, going through footage. And I get to my second shooter shots. And there is as the bride is walking the aisle, his shot is this perfectly composed rule of third shot of the best man. Just and
that's incredible.
He kind of looked like the groom, like they're both like really tall. Anyways,
yeah.
But the best part is that he has like no reaction because it's like it's not his bride, so he's just staring. And my second shooter was like, I was wondering why he didn't react. And I'm like, because it wasn't him. Like, oh my God.
It's the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So
man.
The only thing that saved me is that at the end of the shot, like the groom like stepped forward. And so I had like 5 seconds of him and it was like complete rule of thirds. So he's like here. Like he goes from there to like, and it just barely, but it was enough that I'm like, he's over there. But I had to like give the bride all the raw footage. She wanted to edit it. So then of course she asked like a week or two later. And then I had to, tell her, hey, by the way, I did not get that. I'm very, very sorry. And like she forgave me. It was okay. But it was still, that was my main learning moment of, if I'm asked to do something, like if you're asked to do it's on you as the film. It's not on your second shooter. Don't delegate the important stuff because you're going to get in trouble. It's going to be bad. That was probably my biggest fail.
That's pretty good. Nick, I know that you're not like able to be on the chat because your
I haven't pulled up
to explode. You do? Okay, good.
I haven't pulled up.
Feel free to grab one of those questions. Then I don't want to hog it all. You got invited late. I don't want you to feel not like you're part of this.
Yeah, not that I'm not a contributing member of this this thing. So Ben Holton asks you, Matt, how many weddings are you shooting this year?
Ooh, okay. This is a weird year. I will preface it by saying it's a very weird year because we had a baby beginning there. We had the baby in February. Late February. We had basically the baby in March. And so Rachel is my wife / second shooter / in charge of so much of the organization of our company. Nothing would get done without her. Mm-hmm. And she, after third trimester in December, like third trimester started in December, her pregnancy, she always second shoots for me. We said, hey, let's not take any more weddings after like this December wedding, just because you're not going to want to film a wedding in your current state. And then you need to recover from after the pregnancy. So let's take like 6 months off because I want to spend time with my baby. Of course, I want to, my firstborn child. It's crazy. So we had already previously booked a wedding in April, but before we knew we were pregnant. And so I went to Nashville and shot that wedding with a friend of mine, not with Rachel, because she was only like 2 months after having the baby.
Sure.
But we do not actually have another wedding booked right now until October, which is weird.
That's awesome.
It's great. Like, that's what I wanted. I'm like, okay, baby's born then. I want like 6 months where I can like spend time with my daughter. And it's amazing because every day, like,
cool.
you guys have kids. Like every day she's doing new stuff. I'm like, oh, you're grabbing things now. This is so fascinating. Like, just weird, like only parents care about. Like, look at her, she's blinking, this is crazy. Like, I don't know, like, whatever.
It's revolutionary.
You're learning so much. Oh my gosh. Like, she has a little bell that she'll kick. I'm like, she kicked the bell. Like, it's dumb. But like, as a parent, I want to be there and see that stuff. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, between like what we've saved in like last year and like from YouTube, like we're doing okay. And I just launched a course, so that's helping too.
Sure.
But that's kind of the goal.
Wait, you launched a course?
Yeah.
Hold up.
I did.
Course? I didn't know you launched a course.
Oh,
Just kidding. It's pinned at the top of the comments.
there you go.
So, anywho, Ali and Joey Photo and Cinema had a question. It's a long
and
one, so
Cinema.
I'm gonna like try to make it a little shorter. How often do you go into your actual editing process with your client before they book? They shoot video and photo, and recently had a client that wanted to see a before and after of an edited image. I had no problem showing them, but I feel like it wouldn't really be a helpful thing for a client to see. What are your approach and thoughts on showing the client how the bacon is made, Joey?
Oh, that's good. That's real good. I will say, as somebody that has let the client into that process before, it's especially prevalent in corporate work. Any sort of commercial work you do, there's much greater chance you're going to have more feedback than just a wedding couple that's like, looks great, we love it, which is kind of the ideal for a wedding, I think. I've had, whenever I first got started in filmmaking, I had a video that I made for a commercial client. I want to say I went through 13 revisions. Just, can you change this? Can you change this too? I'm like, no, it's done. Like, eventually I was like, the video's done. Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, was
Yeah.
not getting paid for any of those revisions. So for wedding films, instead of going the route of, hey, let me have you look at the unedited work, let me have you help out in the editing process, I want to take as much of that off the table as possible. And ideally, I want couples that trust me and Rachel creatively to film their wedding, to edit their wedding film well, and to make something that really shows them and their personality and their love as well as we can. Like, I want a time capsule of that moment that reflects them. And we're good enough at it at this point that we've had couples tell us, you know, I wasn't sure about the song you picked at the start, but then I listened to it for 2 days and I was like, oh yeah, that is us actually. Oh crap. Like, it's weird. Like, we feel like we almost know our couples better than they know themselves. And that's really cool. So I'm a big fan of doing a ton of work ahead of time, ton of pre-production, ton of meeting with the couple, getting to know them, building like an actual friendship with them where they can completely trust us to know them well enough that their film's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
I know we already asked a question from Jay Worsley, but he's Jay Worsley,
so good.
we can. Yeah.
He really is so good.
He wanted to let
It's
you know
annoying.
that he does the voiceover thing that you do. You know, your whatever you did. But Jay asked, what inspired you to create this course, and what makes it different from others? Like, why did you decide to go course route instead of just uploading all this to YouTube?
Oh man. Aside from completely ruining my YouTube audience, I think, with like, guys, strap in, the next 38 videos are going to be me editing a wedding film from beginning to end. Like, I feel like I would lose half the audience just from boredom at that point. Like, I don't like want to actually watch this here. I feel like we're all like, you know, everybody in this group, aside, I'm sure there's some people that are like, I'm working for free, it's great. But we as creative people, there is a value to our time. I think we can all agree on that. Like, we want to be paid to film a wedding. We want to be paid to edit a wedding. And I think in the same way, we can expect, hey, I want to pay for gear. I want to pay for education. I want to pay to better myself. As somebody that has spent a lot of money on courses and books and educational stuff, I have no problem with investing in myself, as well as like investing in, I got to get the next drone too. Oh my gosh. So I've always been okay with charging, you know, for things and like paying for things. And I hope other people are too. That's one of the reasons that I was like, okay, I feel comfortable charging for this course. I wasn't sure what to charge, anything like that. That's a whole nother can of worms to open up and everything. I had to agonize over that for a long time. But I specifically saw a need for this course as I was going through, a lot of my ideas for videos come from my YouTube comments. People that say, "Hey, Matt, show me how you do this. Show me how you do this." And a lot of people were asking about editing, and
Yeah.
I was thinking, well, I can make little shorter editing videos, and I'd done some of those. Or here's how I color grade. It's 10 minutes long. Here's how I do this. It's another 10 minutes long. Here's how here's a preset that I use to mix my audio and make it sound better. But a wedding film is just such a beast. Like, and
Yeah.
you can make shorter videos saying, hey, here's a little part of a wedding, here's a little part, but the real strength of a wedding is it all cohesively working together. And that means I can only show you everything. And which is insane. But I was like, great, well then I'll just edit over 24 hours of video showing everybody about this entire process. Which is a little insane, but I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Very good. To everybody that's watching right now live, if you do have a question for Matt, be sure to drop it in the comments. I'm going to steal one from our Instagram. Follow us over there at How to Film Weddings. Hello Tomorrow asked a really good question, and I really want to know your thoughts on this. They've been on the podcast before. They're out of Canada. Really good filmmakers, and they're asking, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
See, it's tough, right? It's really tough. And for me, it really comes down to what I would rather eat. Because, as a Texan
Right.
meat eater, I feel like it's more, especially in America, it's more acceptable to eat duck than horse. Because if you go down the horse eating route, then you're just Aldi.
There's no going back.
You're just Aldi grocery store, and they're just, selling you horse meat. I'm sure we've all eaten horse meat at some point that we think is hamburger meat. That's not the point, though. The point is that duck is a very acceptable meal to consume, I feel. Like, everybody's like, ooh, you're having the duck? Well, it's like a fancy chicken. Like, wow, I'll have the duck.
It's smiling at me.
So I feel like if it's like a big duck, people are like, oh, you got the large duck, like a large steak. So I'd probably go with the duck, just from an edibility perspective. That's a thought. Lots of freezer meals.
That's good. So there you go. Hello Tomorrow. The answer right there from Matt Johnson himself. Andy Moody has left 20 duck emojis in the comments.
Yes.
So thank you for that. Back over to the live. Ben Holton says, Matt, you shoot Sony. What lenses are your favorite for Sony?
Oh, yes. Okay. I will say I have a total Frankenstein hodgepodge of lenses because I started with Canon, then I switched to Sony, and so I think I own 3 actually native Sony lenses of a lot of lenses because I have some Canon glass I've used. I'm a really big fan of Sigma art lenses just for the price to quality that you're getting there. And I just saw a rumor that they're bringing out E-mount 24 to 70 millimeter and a 35 millimeter f1.2 and several other like really nice E-mount lenses this year. And I'm like, yes, finally. Okay, good. More lenses to buy. But otherwise, I don't know if Aaron Tharp is still in the chat here, but he was recommending that I check out Zeiss Contax lenses, which are, I want to say from 1975. Like, they're really older lenses, all manual.
Yeah.
But you're getting some of the sharpness of Zeiss. They look really good, but you also get the character of an older lens. So there's lens flaring, the coatings aren't quite as perfect. Everything has like a nice sort of organic feel to it. And I bought a 50 millimeter and a 85 millimeter, and I absolutely love them. I need to make a video about them at some point. They're just gorgeous lenses. Buy them on eBay. Like, you can pick up the 50 millimeter for like $300 right now. Now that I've said that, the price is going to go up. But that's one of the reasons I haven't made the video yet. I'm like, if I make a video about this, a lot of people are going to buy this, and then I won't be able to buy anymore. So I need to buy like
selfish,
a few.
Matt.
I know. I need to buy a few more though, need to get the full set.
Or maybe you just buy a bunch of 50s and then talk about it on your YouTube and then make all your money back.
Who wants to buy this
Yes.
one? That's really good. Okay, great. Oh man. That's tough.
Oh man, that's cool. That's cool. Ryan Hinman wants to know beard oil or cream.
Ooh. See, this is intense here. I feel like beard oil is a little less maintenance because you can just kind of like put it in and you don't have to like rub it in a lot, you know. I've lately just been on the kick of using conditioner in the shower, and I'll just put conditioner in at the beginning of the shower and just leave it in like an entire shower, and at the end wash it out. And that usually results in a lot of softness without having to necessarily go through an extended hair care routine. So like if it's a fancy occasion, I break out the beard oil, but otherwise it's just kind of more work. And I grew this beard out of laziness. I don't want to actually have to do more work.
I can totally relate to all of what you just said.
But yeah, John can totally. And then on a course, back to your course, Ben David says, does this course show you how to do teasers and trailers as well as highlight films and short films?
So the cool thing about wedding film framework, in that I titled it that specifically because it really is the framework and process that I use for editing every single wedding film that I edit. And that means that it applies to not only highlights, but also full-length films, trailers, literally whatever you want. I would approach editing it the exact same way. And so in the course, I'm editing a 5-minute long wedding film. It's not a massively long wedding film or anything like that. Some people would consider it a highlight. I would still consider it a full wedding film, because if I had made a course about me editing like a 10-minute wedding film, well, then we're looking at like a 40-hour long course. It's just going to be longer because it's just me like going through more stuff. So
right.
I was like, let's make this a 5-minute wedding film. That way it'll kind of save me a little bit on that end. But it's been, it's great. I don't know where I was going with that. It's great.
I know. I like it. It's one of those things. What you're saying is you don't need to break down into a 2-minute film, a 5-minute film, and a 10-minute film, because you're showing the framework to how to do. The length doesn't matter.
Exactly.
If you have these elements in it and you build it this way and you have these things in mind, then you can make however long of a film that you want to make.
Exactly. I will make an Instagram trailer. Usually we offer like a 1-minute Instagram trailer. I will do the exact same thing for that Instagram trailer that I then do for the full-length film that I'm delivering to the couple. So it's very applicable regardless of what you're doing.
Yeah, that's great. John, you wanna say something? Ask something?
Yeah. Well, I was just going to jump back over a couple. So we have a lot of fans. A couple people just want to say hey, and they love you. Number one, Jeremy Foster just says, Matt, I love you.
He's
So shout out.
my Californian
Jeremy Foster.
My Californian dreamboat. Yes.
So, yep. So he says hi. And then let's see here. Okay, real important question from Peter Aponte, which I think you've seen in the
I
group.
saw that, yes.
It's a multiple choice question for you. What do you think would happen if your beard came in contact with his hair? And if you don't know, Peter has long hair. A, Armageddon, B, Wonder Twin Powers, or C, Captain Planet shows up.
I would say it'd be more like...
He needs to know.
Can it be like Rastafarian Captain Planet? Like, yeah, man, we had to save the planet. I don't know. That's just kind of my thought there. Knowing Peter's hair, which is beautiful. My goodness.
That is a great answer. I love it. I will accept that answer.
Okay, good. I'm trying to be culturally sensitive here.
Yes, good. That's good. Always be sensitive. Gideon Meyer says, I love Matt and his shirt. Well, that's good. Okay, back over here to the Facebook questions. Katie Jo Alderson, who I think she came to both mine and Nick's workshops.
She came to both of our
So
workshops.
shout out to Katie Jo. She posted a question.
Does she live in the
yesterday.
Does she live in the middle of the country? That makes sense that she would come to both.
She lives in like northern Missouri, which is like on the Iowa border.
She drove like
she
8
was,
or 9 hours to my workshop.
for like
and I was
both
like,
of ours.
That's a trip.
Yeah.
Then I would think like, okay, well, she's in like she actually lives at the Pioneer Woman's Mercantile, directly between where you guys live. That would make sense to me. No, not that.
Good job, geography. Well, she posted yesterday she was about to purchase the course and asked a bunch of questions, and I said we're going to be on here. Said, do you have any questions for him? She wants to know, how long have you actually been filming weddings?
Ooh, that's good. I shot my first wedding in 2010. I want to say it was February 2010. So over 9 years now, nearly 9.5 years, I guess. It's been a long time since DSLRs.
So you've been doing it for a minute. You've learned a lot. We were talking with Matt, for everybody who's just joined, about his new course. Drop your questions in the comments. I have a question from Facebook from Kamari. She says, do you think your course is more geared towards beginners or people in their first year or two of business, or will people who've been doing it for several years still benefit? What do you think?
Totally. So if you are new, definitely, because it's going to show you entire workflow in Premiere. So you can literally go from beginner to expert. If you've been doing things for a while, I know that for me personally, there are things that I did for years that, looking back, were wrong. And whenever I say wrong, I don't mean wrong like you can't make a wedding film this way. I'm more so saying you're taking a lot longer to make a wedding film this way. It's a very inefficient process that you're doing. Hold on just 1 second. I have to hit record on my Sony a7S II again because it only records for 30 minutes at a time. And Nick and John are making me record this thing with my big camera too. I don't have one of those fancy C100s that only records unlimited amounts of time.
Like a real camera?
In 1080p.
I shouldn't have said that.
Okay, anyways, if you are more experienced though, I actually had a person email me saying, hey, I've been filming weddings for years. I've been editing weddings for years. Why should I buy this course then? What's the point of that? And I can tell you right now that if you've been editing weddings for years, I highly doubt that, and whenever I say for years, I mean like 5 years or more. I highly doubt that I'm going to tell you something like, you can pancake your timeline, and people are going to be like, what? This is revolutionizing my entire editing process. Like, I'm probably not going to be dropping you mental bombs like that are just kind of completely revolutionize things. But one thing that I've learned as I've gotten better at editing wedding films and continue to learn, there are not necessarily large things you're going to learn, but there are smaller things that you can pick up, and over time those add up to hours of time saved. So even like 2 years ago, I attended the 31 Films workshop in Portland, Oregon. They have their workshop's fantastic, by the way. Academy of Storytellers, big fan of the 31 Films workshop. And they were talking, and they mentioned some like offhanded thing about editing. I'm trying to even remember what it was, but it like just blew my mind. I was like, what? Oh, I could do that way. And it was such like a small thing, but I started doing that, and I was able to save like hours off of my editing time just by that small thing. And so my hope is that in this course, if you're already experienced, I can show you some of these smaller things that'll still help shift the way that you're thinking, and that should hopefully help save you multiple hours of time and help you be more efficient. I will also tell you that if you do not learn anything, if you say, I watched this course and I hate it, or I didn't learn anything at all, you don't have to watch the course. You can do whatever you want. There's a 60-day return policy, and it's no questions asked. So if you have any issue at all, you just hate looking at my beard, I don't know, whatever, I will give you your money back.
Impossible.
I've only had one return.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've only had one return so far. Some guy emailed me and was like, hey, I looked at it, and I don't think you're necessarily doing stuff that's going to like revolutionize my workflow. I'm already doing a lot of this stuff. And I said, that's great. Here's your money back. Have a good day. Like, I'm doing this to help people. Like, I don't want your money if it's not going to help you.
So tell me, what CRM do you use? If you're not sure or you don't know what a CRM is, I'm about to save you a lot of time and therefore money. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. Basically, a CRM is an online service that helps you better serve your clients. HoneyBook is both mine and John's CRM of choice. We absolutely love it. HoneyBook allows us to do all of our correspondence, contracts, and payments all in one place. One of the features that I love is the automated workflow. We all have emails that we send out to all of our clients, right? At 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, the week of. All of us do it. Automated workflows make it so that those emails can go out automatically. Since I don't have to take time to, 1, remember to send them out, and 2, to write them, I save time and make more money by working more efficiently. Are you interested in saving time on the business side of things? Go to howtofilmweddings.com/honeybook for a free 1-week trial. Also, because the Honeybooks really like me and John, we can give you $200 off of your first year, and that also comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Go to howtofilmweddings.com/honeybook to start saving lots of time in your business. Oh yeah, legally I have to tell you that John and I are affiliates of Honeybook.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's such a huge thing about just picking up little things that'll save you time. Like we have a couple of me editing a wedding film on our YouTube channel, and like, you know, forever I would just like search for warp stabilizer when I needed it, or, you know, control click, you know, to nest and all this stuff. And this guy was like, "Why don't you make a presets folder with your favorite stuff that you always use?" And I was like, okay, so now that folder is just always open. Like, it's like little things like that. Cause, you know, you do like, you know, effect, click, you know, even if it takes you 3 seconds, but if you're doing that, you know, 20 times in a film times all of your film, like you're literally saving hours just by building that little thing. So that's a really big tidbit there.
It's little stuff, but it adds up.
Yeah. Where there was a question that I saw. Oh, okay. Daniel Afka, would you rather invest money on an editing course or a shooting class?
Ooh. I feel like these are such different things. They're both necessary. Yeah. They're both going to happen. Well, unless you only second shoot or something like that. If you only second shoot, invest in the shooting class, because that's actually going to be applicable to you. But I will say, just looking at things, thinking about where do I spend the majority of my time, I can go film a wedding for 14 hours or something like that. That's a short amount of time in comparison to how much time I may spend editing the wedding film. So if I had to choose, I would probably choose the editing, selfishly here, because I have that course, but also because I want to be able to have the biggest impact on what's going to take me the most amount of time. My thinking.
I think that a really good editor can take mediocre footage and make a really powerful video, whereas the other way around, a poor editor can take great footage and make something that's just kind of
That's
right?
deep.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I agree.
100% agree.
I like it, Nick.
Seen that happen.
Yeah, I am full of deep nuggets.
No. No. I'm going to ask Blake Polino's question because I think this is a really good one. He says, Matt, what purchase under $50 has most improved your life?
Ooh. Oh my goodness.
That's a good question.
What was it?
Do you want to say in the last 6 months?
The last,
or just
sure.
ever?
I mean, hey, last 6 months I had a baby in the last 6 months. I know that there's, I would say,
it doesn't have to be a camera related. It just says what purchase under $50 has most improved your life. Anything.
This is
It's a hard question.
I know it's too broad. That's the problem. Like literally anything, and then my mind's like running for like an hour. Like it could be anything. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say, for me personally, like with my current state of having a baby, we bought a $25 Wyze cam, WYZE cam, which is like a little like security camera, and we use it as a baby monitor. And like if you wake up and your baby's crying and you can just look at your phone half awake and be like, is she dead? No? Okay. Like, is she stopping crying? Okay, now she's going back to bed. Okay, awesome. I'm going back to bed too. Like, that has saved me just so much sleep, I would say. That's been probably like one of the best things for me personally. I know that's like a dad. It's still camera related, but it's totally a dad thing right now because aside from me just editing the course, it's been like, am I getting enough sleep right now with this baby? It's been a little crazy.
So amidst you talking right now, Nick has the hashtag Deep Nuggets has started trending inside of our group. Blake Polino, hashtag Deep Nuggets. Andy Moody, new nickname, Deep Nuggets for Nick Miller.
Deep
Steve
Nugget
Price
Nick.
says Deep Nugget Nick. Think we're onto something here.
Good.
Deep nugget in the sticky bun.
I would rather be the sticky bun than the Deep Nuggets.
If we can somehow deep
Just
fry
be-
these nuggets in a crock pot, we're getting somewhere here.
Oh,
now
man.
we're cooking.
Okay, I got another one. Andrea Schwan says, my husband and I just launched our business and we are figuring out roles when it comes to editing. So curious, how do you and Rachel split up the editing process, or are you the one that does all of the editing? Then she says, congrats on becoming a dad.
Thank you. I will say that for the first 5 years of filming weddings, I edited everything myself. 5-6 years even. I was doing everything. And one thing I think you'll learn if you're editing is that there are things that you enjoy doing and things you don't enjoy doing. And there are things that are more creative than others, and there are things that you just kind of have to do at times. So when Rachel started helping me in 2015 with filming and editing weddings, and then she's now like an integral part of everything that we do, she is now completely in charge of all music selection for the most part of our films. Like, she will listen to music, help find music. We now have a service where we recommend music. She's in charge of a ton of that. And she loves listening to music and finding music. So that's like her big thing. She will also help a lot with the story of the day, where she's helping, oh, this part was big, we need to use this too. That was a big moment. Are you incorporating this? And so that's been super awesome. Otherwise, I'm still doing a lot of the bulk of the editing B-roll, organizing, laying out the story, things like that. And then she's kind of the sounding board of like, how does this look? Okay, what can we tweak here? What can we do this here? And it works really well. Well, now we have a baby, so she's not able to do it as often as she was before.
Right.
But that's really great. I know that like Kaylin and Christine at White and Reverie, their process is, I'm pretty sure Christine is like fully on the editing like story side, and then Kaylin comes in and it's like, let me make this look really pretty. I'm gonna color grade this well. And it's just, I love that they have almost like a 50-50 dynamic there in terms of like the editing. We're not quite there. I'd say it's more like 30-70 or like 40-60, something like that. I'm bad at percentages, so we'll just say it's there somewhere.
Yeah, that's Jen and I are sort of similar in that. I mean, I'm doing the editing, but she started recently doing looking for songs and finding stuff that she thinks and wants me to listen to, and then she does all our color, which John is really jealous about.
I'm looking into hiring her to do my color for me. So,
dude, we've been talking about it forever, but she does the coloring. So, I make the videos, and then she just makes them look really good, so people want to watch them and all that kind of stuff.
You guys have to color Canon footage? I thought it just looked great out of camera. Why would you have to touch it?
I mean, it does look great out of camera, but we make it look even better,
even greater, even better.
The color on Nick's last video was insanely good. I'm just gonna pat my friend Nick on the back for that color.
No, you need to pat your friend Nick's wife Jen on the back.
I'm not patting anyone's back. I'm not doing it.
He's not touching your wife.
Take it back. I'm not touching your wife, dude.
Thank you for that.
You pat her on the back for me.
Ellie wants to know if John, Matt, and I can start a dad podcast.
Eli, not Ellie.
No, it's Ellie. I know him.
Is it?
It's Ellie.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I already have
Sorry.
I already have an agreement with Jay Worsley that if I'm going to start a podcast, we're going to start a podcast called Drone Dads, and we're going to talk about drones.
I like that.
So I can't.
If you think that Matt should start a
pod.
podcast, comment below. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
Katie
scrolling
Alderson
through.
asked another question, and she, knows about your Matt's music site and that kind of stuff. And so she says, what are your current top 2 favorite music licensing sites?
Ooh. I will say off the top of my head, Music Bed and Soundstripe are the two that we're using the most right now. Music Bed has added the vast majority of their songs to subscription now. I want to say in the past year, it's not even been out a year, but and so in the past 8 months, granted we took time off to film a baby. Okay, so correction even more.
Film a baby?
In the last 10 weddings we've done, something like that, 6 weddings we've done, I think I've had to pay to license one song for Music Bed. The rest of it's all been on subscription, which has been fantastic. We've also been using Soundstripe a pretty good amount. I just really, really love them as a company too. They're doing some really great stuff. And I went to Nashville in April and met up with them. I just kind of emailed 30 minutes before, hey, I'm in town. Can I come by? Okay, great. I'm coming. And then I just showed up. And half the office stood up and gave me a hug. I'm like, you're all so nice people. This is so great here. I love y'all. And it was just really, really cool. Both those companies, in terms of selection and what they're doing, and price too. Now, I'm a very big fan of what's happening. So it's good.
Things you can do when you're Matt Johnson. You can just show up and walk in and people hug you.
I think anybody
Nick,
can do that.
Can I do a question?
Anybody.
Well, I will say that recently John and I have been sponsored by Music Bed.
Ooh.
Nick is really excited. I'm really excited about that. But we like telling people that we're sponsored because #fame.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you want to go to howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed, and if you sign up for their wedding subscription, you will get 1 month for free.
Ooh.
So, okay, John, you can ask something.
All right, over on our Instagram page at How to Film Weddings, Concita Films says, how do you handle a photographer that does not give you time to get the shots you need before moving on during couples portraits?
Ooh.
We have come across a few photographers who forget we are there, even though we have done all we can to build good rapport with them. When we jump in, they seem annoyed as if we are wasting their time and our job isn't as important.
Sure. Okay, couple thoughts about that there. First of all, you should ideally be reaching out to photographers ahead of time. I want to say the second video I ever made educational-wise on my YouTube channel, if you go way, way back, first video was a Sony A7S II review. Second video was how wedding filmmakers can get along with photographers. And it was literally my process, how I do it. I reach out, send an email, talk to them, get to know them a little bit, and that usually results in much smoother interactions on the wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say the more that you can build your relationship with the couple, the more they're going to value you as well, and the more the couple is going to be on your side as well to give you the time that you need. So we've had couples that are very cognizant of, okay, what do you need for the video? And I'm like, oh, great. Okay, cool. We'll go over here and do this too. And otherwise, a decent portion of it is also just communicating with the photographer on the day of, hey, where are you going to be? Okay, great. I'm going to be over here. And then I see a lot of posts. I feel like any Facebook group you're a part of, there's always, photographer got in my shot. Oh, they ignored my safety angle in the back and they walked in front of my they stood right there in the front. And oftentimes my reaction to that is, why weren't you up there next to them? Because clearly that looks like it was actually a pretty good angle, especially for the kiss or something like that. Get up there in the middle aisle next to them. That's fine. If they're in front of you, you whining about it after the fact is not going to fix that. The only thing that'll fix it is you in the moment taking charge and saying, okay, then I'm going to go up there and be next to them. They may be doing something and I'm not super comfortable with that. Oh no, they're blocking my shot. But you can't go crying to the couple after, they blocked my shot. Well, you can go and cry to the couple, but you still don't have the shot. You doing that's not going to fix anything. So I've had plenty of photographers jump out in front. So I'm jumping up right next to them then. And I say, okay, great. And now we're actually to the point at weddings where I'm the one that's hey, I'm going up to the front now to go get the kiss. And the photographer's like, oh, okay. And I'm going on up, okay, great. Last wedding I filmed, me and the photographer had a great rapport. I was shooting on a 24 millimeter. I want to say she was on a 35. And so I was getting closer to the couple to have them fill the frame more. And this is during the exit. And she actually shoves me out of the way. And it was the funniest thing ever. We were both laughing about it afterwards. She's like, I knew you were fine. You could have been a little bit wider. It was okay. And I was like, you're absolutely right. I could have been. That was on me. Okay, great. But like, just if you have that relationship of like, hey, I'm gonna get what I need, you get what you need, and let's work together. It's usually gonna be okay, because worst case scenario, you probably aren't gonna be working with that photographer again. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good. I like that. You know, we always like to say that we're on team bride and groom.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever we need to do to get the best thing for them. And this is one thing I've started doing is actually my aisle cam is the one that I have on my Ronin. So, you know, I park it there in the middle so that whenever it's time for the kiss, I can pick it up and walk right up with the photographer and get that, and then we can walk back together. That's worked out really well.
I wanted to add one point to that I've been doing. Instead of like asking the photographer, hey, do you mind if I get a shot? Or hey, where, like, I've been, especially during the portraits part of that question, like saying, hey, I'm going to grab this shot whenever you're done. And I also will like preface the whole conversation with, I'm going to let you know, if you get a pose, I might just whisper in your ear that I want them to do something in that pose. Yeah. Movement is important to me, so I might have them look at each other. Photographers have been really cool about it. I mean, unless your photographer is just a straight up jerk, which most of them aren't. They just don't know what you really need.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Okay. Blake asked a very important question here, Matt.
Anytime Blake talks.
If Sony disappeared in the Thanos snap tomorrow, what camera would you switch to?
Panasonic S1. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. If Canon got,
I will say, White and Reverie got one. Kaylin's been posting stuff. I'm like, dude, that looks good. That looks real good. I could work with that. That'd be okay.
I'm feeling the same way.
Could make that happen.
Feeling the same way.
Little S1H 6K action.
Gideon Meyer asked, would you invest in Canon glass if you just started out in Sony?
I really question kind of why you would do that, unless you're planning on switching back to Canon, or you are hoping that by 2025 Canon will have a camera that doesn't have a crop in 4K. I'm sorry, that's rude. But I just feel like if whatever camera you're with, especially if you're like going with Sony now, a lot of Sony lenses are good, especially if you want good autofocus, which Sony autofocus doesn't suck. Like on my A7S II, I don't use the autofocus because it's contrast based, but the A7 III has fantastic autofocus. So I would probably want Sony or Sigma glass that would work with that. That'd be my opinion.
Cool.
There you have it. Okay, I'm going to ask a question. This is more of a marketing question. John Call says, wedding wire and the knot, are they worth the investment?
Ooh. Are you just getting started filming weddings and you need to book weddings? In my experience, wedding wire and the knot are kind of like a bridal show. Usually at bridal shows, you're not competing on quality, you're not competing on your ability or your talents or the beautiful films you're making, you're competing on price. And in general, wedding wire and the knot, a lot of it is you in a marketplace with 500 other vendors, and everybody's like, I'm cheaper, buy mine, it's on sale, buy this. And it's fine if you're just getting started and you want to book weddings. Like, great, awesome. I guarantee you, like, your prices are not very big at that point, so you want to just get experience and get weddings, you'll book weddings. But later on, whenever it comes time to competing with price, I feel like, and maybe you guys, if you had a podcast episode about Facebook ads or some sort of method of generating business without using the wedding wire or the knot, but using other social media, that might be helpful.
We do have one, Matt. Like, this is crazy that you mentioned it.
This is weird.
We just recorded a couple weeks ago with Max Sadek. It's a couple episodes back. Definitely want to check it out.
Episode 37 of the How to Film Weddings podcast.
Can I just say...
And Matt, John Call did say he just started.
Good.
So, can you just say what? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I feel like Max Sadek is a good villain name. Like, if he was going to be taking over the world, or maybe Matt, like, I don't know, like serial killer.
Like in a James Bond movie?
Like Max Sadek, like, you know, super villain.
That does feel...
It works, okay? New Bond coming out, I'd watch that.
Thomas Braun asked, do you also go into shots that are needed in your course?
So a lot of the editing process, it's about the editing process. So if I was going to be talking about the shooting process, I probably would be talking more about the shots needed because I've probably already made those shots. But there still is a large portion of the course is dedicated to me actually walking through editing a whole wedding film. So of course I'm talking through, this is the shot that I want here, this is why I want this shot here. And so there are definitely needed shots that I'm covering, and that, we should probably put the kiss in here. We probably need that in the wedding video. We'll include that in this moment. So I would say yes, but not from a shooting perspective, but from an editing perspective.
Nick, are you getting a little bit of a lag from Matt? Or is it me too, or is it just Matt?
He's becoming a little robot-y.
Oh no.
Okay. I didn't know if it was me. I'm trying to catch over here on the live stream if it's doing that on just mine, but then I realized it did it over here on the live stream. So I just wanted to make sure everybody could hear him.
They're getting torn.
Okay.
It's these torn jeans.
Over to Instagram, we're running low on time. Diag Media, DIAG Media says, describe a good wedding film as a food dish.
Oh, see, this is my jam right here. Oh my goodness. Good wedding film is like a cake, like a delicious cake that's been cooked in a crock pot. No, it's like a set of sticky buns cooked in a crock pot.
A soggy crock pot.
My goodness, no. Honestly, a good wedding film would be like a stew, though, that you could cook in a crock pot. Let's just be honest here. I feel like any good wedding film, you have all the ingredients and you're putting them all together, and then you're the chef mixing things up, adding your own spices, your special herbs, and I don't know why I was going like KFC with that. Your special blend of herbs and spices, and it all comes together.
Some people don't know what KFC is, and they're missing out.
Hey, did you know on Twitter's Instagram for KFC, it's 7 herbs and spices? They follow 7 guys named Herb and the Spice Girls.
That's amazing. I love that.
Blake says that Matt sounds like a Decepticon.
I'm sorry. I am recording the audio separately, so
just talk really, really slow.
So weird. I can.
Spencer Lemoyne says, how do you know when it's time to make the leap from side hustle to full time?
Ooh.
Especially when you have a family to support.
Right away.
I like that question.
Just jump in. Just, throw caution to the wind.
Take a chance.
Take a chance with your entire family that you may be living on the street. No, don't do that. Don't quit your day job until you got what does Dave Ramsey say? 6 months.
The boat in the dock.
Good old Doc Ramsey. So he's got I want to say you got 6 months saved up or something like that. You want to have a year probably, if you got a family especially, saved up of cushion there, so that way as you're building your business you'll be okay. And ideally you wouldn't just quit right after that. You would be filming weddings for several years to build up your portfolio, your experience, and then you would say, okay, now it's time to go full time. That would just be my recommendation. Yeah.
I will say that I was 5 years before I went full time.
I was in my 3rd year, and I did it wrong, and it made me almost lose my my home, basically. It was should I pay the gas bill this month or the electric bill? Which one? It's cold out, so let's pay the gas bill. It was a bummer in 2009.
You can cook with gas. All you really need is gas. You don't need electricity. Kids, we're starting a fire over here.
I learned that.
We're gonna be fine. We'll be warm.
Yeah, you just turn the oven on and open the oven. It warms up your house.
Just don't breathe. Don't breathe. It's fine. Don't keep those windows open, kids.
Though if you're really hot and you open the fridge and try to build a tent, that doesn't always work.
It's tough.
If you're that was dumb. Sorry I said that.
No, we're dealing with this right now. Our daughter takes naps. We have a little our house is not that big, but it has it's like a townhome, 2-story, and our daughter sleeps upstairs. And this house was built in like the 80s, so the insulation's just not there. And down here stays in the 70s. It's fine. Upstairs is like 80 something. And so I'm like, you ready to go to bed in the sauna? Okay, love you. Good night. And it's just like cooking her up there.
Good luck up there.
Yeah, I'm like, so I've got like a humidifier going. I've got like fans on her. I got the vent angled at her crib. I'm like, you will sleep and it will be cool right here in this corner for you. Okay, great. Oh, it's Texas summers, man.
Yes. Just like Oklahoma summers, but worse. All right, Nick, do you see any more questions here? We're coming up on the hour. To everybody listening, reminder, we pinned it in the comments and we'll post it in a minute, but the Wedding Film Framework course by Who Is Matt, right here.
It's
the link
me.
to purchase that. It's a full course on how to make millions shooting or just editing weddings. Sorry. Anything else, Nick, that you want to add, or Matt, that you want to add before we get off of here?
I'm pretty good. It's been great. Love you guys.
Go buy Matt's course. I mean, it's worth it. Especially, I mean, it's for Premiere users, not Final Cut users. So
yeah, a lot of people have asked me, if I have Final Cut, should I buy this? And I go pretty darn in depth into Premiere. So some of the philosophy will carry over, some of the storytelling, editing, like that's going to carry over.
right.
But at the end, it still is very much so a Premiere heavily focused course. So I would say instead probably buy White and Reveries Final Cut Pro Masterclass if you're on Final Cut.
Yep.
Buy this if you're on Premiere.
What a good guy. You know, if he was a bad guy, he would just tell you to buy Premiere. Buy the Premiere version.
No
It'll be fine.
refund. Sorry. No, there's a 60-day refund policy. If you hate it, I'll give you your money back. If you get bored, I'll give you your money back. I don't care. I want to help you.
I love it. And everything Matt Johnson does is awesome. The beard, everything. We appreciate your time, Matt.
Glad to be here.
Yeah.
The man. The man. Nick, you want to land the plane? Do we need to do that?
I want you. You can do that.
Well, I mean, you're the one that can like kill the live stream.
Yeah,
thing,
I'll kill it. I'll kill it when
Okay.
it's time to kill it. But
All
I'll
right.
let
Well,
you.
if you're listening or watching, be sure to check out Matt's course. We're going to link it in the show notes. We're going to turn this one into a podcast, so this will drop soon. But like, share, subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you.
Bye.
See ya.